For centuries, humans slept in a way that is now largely forgotten. It was not a single stretch of sleep, but rather two distinct periods. This biphasic sleep pattern was the norm, not the exception. People went to bed, slept for a few hours, woke for an hour or two, and then slept again until morning. This was how our ancestors lived for generations. This pattern was not unique to any one culture or region. Across Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Americas, people experienced their nights in two phases. Evidence of this biphasic sleep is found in diaries, literature, court records, and even medical texts. These historical documents provide glimpses into a time when nighttime was experienced quite differently. It is easy to imagine how this pattern fit into pre-industrial life. Without artificial lighting, the setting sun dictated the rhythm of the day. Darkness fell and people retired to bed. After a few hours, they would wake naturally, often around midnight. This period of wakefulness, sometimes called the watch, was an integral part of their night. The transition away from biphasic sleep happened gradually. The invention of artificial lighting played a significant role. As electric lights illuminated the night, people stayed up later and later. The traditional sleep pattern, once dictated by the natural world, began to fade. Over time, the single, consolidated sleep that we know today became the norm. Biphasic sleep was not a random, haphazard experience. It followed a distinct pattern, a natural rhythm of rest and wakefulness. People typically went to bed a few hours after sunset. They would sleep for 3 to 4 hours, then wake for 1 to 2 hours, and finally sleep again until dawn. This first sleep, often referred to as first sleep or deep sleep, was a time of profound rest. It was characterized by deep, slow-wave sleep, essential for physical restoration and repair. After a few hours, the body would naturally transition to a lighter sleep stage, leading to the wakeful period. The period between sleeps, the watch, was not a time of frantic activity. Instead, it was a time for quiet reflection and contemplation. People might lie awake in bed, praying, meditating, or simply letting their thoughts wander. Some used this time for more practical tasks like tending to the fire, checking on livestock, or even visiting neighbors. The second sleep followed this wakeful interlude. It was generally shorter than the first sleep and often characterized by more vivid dreams. People woke from this second sleep feeling refreshed and ready to start their day. This natural rhythm of sleep, wakefulness, and sleep again was simply a part of life, accepted and expected. The watch period, that hour or two between sleeps, offered a unique space in the night. It was a time removed from the demands of the day, a time for introspection and contemplation. In the quiet darkness, people could connect with their thoughts and feelings in a way that was often impossible during daylight hours. The activities during this time varied greatly. Some people used the watch for spiritual practices. They might pray, meditate, or read religious texts. The quiet darkness provided an ideal atmosphere for spiritual reflection and connection. Others used this time for more practical purposes. Farmers might tend to their animals, while housewives might mend clothes or prepare for the next day. Some people even used this time to socialize, visiting neighbors or gathering for quiet conversation. Regardless of how people chose to spend their watch, this period of wakefulness offered a unique opportunity. It was a time for reflection, for connection, and for attending to the needs of the soul as well as the body. In the tapestry of the night, the watch was a thread of quiet contemplation, woven between the deep sleeps. The shift from biphasic to monophasic sleep, from 2 sleeps to 1, began gradually in the 17th century. As artificial lighting became more common, people started staying up later, encroaching on the time once dedicated to the first sleep. The invention of the light bulb in the late 19th century further accelerated this trend. Industrialization also played a role. Factory work, with its rigid schedules, demanded a consolidated sleep period. The rhythm of the factory whistle replaced the natural rhythms of light and dark. Slowly, the traditional sleep pattern, once so common, began to disappear. Scientific studies in the late 20th century began to shed light on the biphasic nature of human sleep. Thomas Wehr's research at the National Institute of Mental Health in the 1990s demonstrated that when allowed to sleep in darkness for extended periods, subjects naturally reverted to a biphasic pattern. Today, monophasic sleep is the norm. Our modern lives, with their constant demands and artificial environments, have made it challenging to maintain the traditional sleep pattern. However, understanding the history of biphasic sleep offers a unique perspective on our own sleep habits. It reminds us that sleep is not a one-size-fits-all phenomenon. The way we sleep today is not the only way, nor necessarily the most natural way. Perhaps in rediscovering the sleep patterns of our ancestors, we can gain a deeper understanding of our own sleep needs and rhythms.